they're all 7 of the
Mm,
factors of awakening are there because each of them is important. Each of them has a role. Yeah, each of them has a role. With calm, one of the things that I've explored quite a lot, uh, in, okay, is to bring imagery forward that supports settling, supports calm. Yeah, and what I mean by that is all of us have tasted calm. This is not a foreign concept, but we don't experience it a lot and we don't experience it deeply, but we do have experienced it in our life, and we know the good feeling when we're really calm. There's a difference between being calm and being exhausted, that really beat, but a really nice kind of calm. And so, what I will do is, and I'll ask you to think about this for yourself. I'll bring to mind at the beginning of meditation, okay, I want to settle. I want to settle. Settling is part of the direction here. It's part of setting up the internal holding environment. When, what are the situations in my life where I have been most calm? Most calm. Hmm? Because calm is also a bodily situation. Where in my life have I experienced that really, really more settled calm? And I'll try to bring that not just to mind, but to body, you know? Yeah. And some of them, here are some of them. Uh, for those of you who have done yoga, something called shavasana, which means now the body's really ready to soften, uh, and to relax and to be more calm, even for those few minutes, right? It's not the same if you try to do that at the beginning of yoga, right? But it's different at the end because you've already exerted yourself, you've opened up the body, and now it's possible to really let go a little bit more, right? For some people, and I've experienced this, lying down in a warm place where the climate's warm. Sometimes it could be on the beach, sometimes just under a tree, on the grass, where there's a sense of relaxation and ease and carefree, just right? When was the last time you were in nature? When was the last time you were in nature and were really sometimes watching the sun, singing nothing can do that. Yeah, now bring that, and it can come back. It's like there's a memory and there's a body memory of that, the release of that. Another one for me is after working out, exercising in some form. Um, the Well, when I'm at the gym, I'll go into the steam room or the sauna, and there's a sense of ah, again, similar to yoga that way, right? Where the body's already been stretched out, exercised, and now it's like ah. I'll sit in the meditation cushion, recalling the last time I was in the steam room or the sauna. Ah, and it's so helpful. I find that so helpful in bringing calm. I've played with this a lot. This is one of those things that I never received any instruction. But calm is so challenging for us. It's like, well, up calm, in this moment, yeah. And there may be other situations. There may be. one somebody I work with said sometimes sitting uh, with their grandchild who's kind of asleep, holding their grandchild. There's a sense of unbelievable calm for a short period of time there, right? And he said, and when I close my eyes and meditate, I think of that. And I think it's not about thinking about the story of all that goes on with that. It's the feeling. What we're trying to call forth is the feeling of calm, right? Whatever experience brings that forth from you. Sometimes, actually, you've heard us talk about our two cats, Yeah. Sometimes being with our cats, they'll crawl up in the lap or whatever. There's a feeling of the cat, right? And I can recall it sometimes every day, a little bit. But just those moments where, oh, it's just another what we call serving suggestion. You know, you might want to explore that and see if it's useful, see if it's helpful. Play with it, noodle around with it a little bit. Find some time when you are super calm, really the calmest you've been. When is the calmest you've been? Where was that? When was that? Just flashing on that and flashing on the feeling of that. And of course, at the same time, we want to soften the breath as much as possible. Yeah, that helps. The softening breath, and it's a trigger. It sends a message to the nervous system. It supports the nervous system to settle and to calm as well. But I find that that's helpful combined with some kind of imagery, with some imagery, uh, can be really, really uh, delightful, actually. Yeah, the calm feels good. you know, and we want that. We want the recollection of that, the letting go of that. Okay. And so, simple suggestion in a way. It's just an encouragement to play with that. Okay. Because um, because as we've mentioned, whoops, sorry about this. Um, as we've mentioned, calm is essential. It's actually not just one of those nice things if it would be there. You know, it's actually quite important. It's actually quite important. And so we want to give some attention to that. The best time to give some attention to calm is right at the beginning of your meditation practice. And it's a way to get, again, mind, heart, and body all together as well, to get all in and to deepen that sense of comfort, to deepen that sense of, and yeah. So one more serving suggestion. Let's practice together. Let's open up and practice together this morning. Okay. And when you're ready, beginning to slow it down, and lightly closing the eyes. And if it's helpful to expand the breath both on the inhale and the exhale, then doing that. And beginning to engage with the breath of life. For a more comfortable breath that feels good. And this might be the moment in my own practice right now, here, when I would invite some imagery to support a little bit more softening, a little bit more calm in the direction of calm. So if you like, take a couple of minutes. Maybe you know already what the image might be. We just need one at a time when you've experienced a deeper sense of calm. At first, maybe recalling the time, the image, the scenario, but then it's really recalling the feeling of calm, connected with that, as if you could bring that forward now in your recalling of it, as if you could feel it now. And bringing that feeling right into the breath, right into this settling process. My mind wanders away. Being willing to return. So, and calming. The last few minutes of the meditation, settling back a bit more, receptive attention, receiving your experience and your breath.